Hey, it's Todd Brinkman. I am the founder of VR Ministry, or otherwise known as Virtual Reality Ministry. And I'm really excited to present an idea that God put in my heart in the summer of 2016. And with His grace, I've been able to persevere and get it to here. And it appears that it's in God's perfect timing right after the pandemic. And our lockdown is the fact that we have new tools that we can really help our inmates feel loved, connected, and empowered in ways that we just didn't have available to us before. So I'm excited to introduce to you an idea called the VR Prison Ministry. And over the next 10 to 12 minutes, I'm actually going to cover these 6 topics with you. And then the goal of this is to actually launch your own VR prison ministry for the inmates in your community. So let's jump in and take a look at the overview. And this is just getting you into the conversation of the fact that we have new tools. We're moving into the most technologically disruptive time in history. And we're just launching that right now. And we have new tools. So it's really up to us to use them for good, for the good of people in our community. And that's the purpose of VR prison ministry. So there are 5 functions of this particular ministry, and we're going to cover them coming up. It's VR prayers, VR stations, VR training, and VR messages. So let's take a look at the first one of where we're going to create VR prayers for inmates and for their loved ones. And this is the cornerstone of your ministry, where you're going to learn to create VR prayers to help inmates feel loved, connected, and even empowered in these immersive experiences. So there are 3 types of VR prayers. There's 360 personal prayers, 360 community prayers, and VR prayers. And let's just take a quick look at each of these. And don't worry, we have a lot of curriculum around this particular topic. And this is just a high level place to get you started. So we do have 3 books, and I've been able to complete a lot of online courses. And the first course is ready, which is called the VR Prayers online course. And it's nearing 5 hours of videos to really help you get launched. So check that out at vrministry.com. But there are 3 types of VR prayers. The first one are 360 personal prayers, then 360 community prayers, and then VR prayers. The first one are personalized experiences. They're customized to one person. So an inmate will put on a headset and they're going to feel immersed, like they're feeling like they're somewhere else that is personal to them. So it could be maybe their family dock at the lake cabin. It could be maybe at a church, but they'll know exactly where they are. And the people talking to them are familiar to the viewer, and they're going to say messages right to that particular person. So it has beautiful ramifications for the inmate, but also for hospital patients and seniors and really isolated prison inmates. The second type are 360 community prayers, and this is not like the first one, but it's similar. And what it is it's a video for the whole community, or maybe for all of the inmates, or maybe one particular system. And that's what that's for. So it's a menu of hope where an inmate can choose maybe from 30 churches to pray from, or go visit parks and gardens, et cetera, where they can actually have just an opportunity to take a VR trip into the community. And also they can view Christian messages. Maybe a pastor or a VR prison ministry team can create a series of Bible stories for inmates, maybe during Christmas time, for example. The third type are VR prayers. These are much different than the first 2 because they're not 360 videos. They are shared VR environment in the real or virtual reality world. And it's quite a bit different because this is a live experience compared to a video, and the viewer or the inmate will put on the headset and they're going to join a VR environment as their avatar, and others will join them as well as their avatars. And then once they've done that, they're going to be in one of 2 places. The first one is in the real world, or I would call the real reality. This is where an inmate's going to put on a headset and they're going to look around and go, yep, I'm at a local church in my community. I know where this is. And it's a place that they know in the community or somewhere else around the world, but it is the real world. Secondly is a VR world, and this is like a metaverse. It's something completely different. They're going to put on a headset and they're going to look around and go, this is awesome. I'm at a medieval church on Mars by a beach, and some friends can join them in a VR prayer experience. So it's just amazing now what's possible with virtual reality prayers. The second function are to create VR stations. These are a safe way to deliver these VR prayers. And there's 3 things to consider in creating VR stations. The first are the fact that we can create stations now that are safe and the technology can be secure in a prison system. And this would involve a static station, like a room that can be monitored. It can be a mobile station that would be like a headset, maybe in a cart or maybe in a duffel bag that someone can bring around and show it to certain inmates. Another one would be a themed room. Maybe in a prison system, they can create a church room or a beach room or a waterfront room where they put a headset on, but they add the additional immersive elements of sight and sound so they can pick a smell. Maybe it's Christmas time. They want to feel like they're at a home, for example. They can put maybe vanilla in their nose and listen to the music of their choice, and they can actually feel like they're immersed in this environment. And then you want to talk to the person beforehand, and this would be the first part of the delivery. So imagine an inmate who's been isolated from their kids maybe for close to a year or a long period of time, and to be together is just obviously impossible. But with law enforcement's assistance and approval, an inmate could put on a headset and actually hear a message, maybe a birthday message from their family, for example. And before you just put a headset on the inmate, you should talk to them. So this is the pre-delivery part where you can just tell them, say, hey, I know you haven't seen your family in a while. In about 3 minutes, you're going to feel like you're with them. So let's talk about it. That would be the pre-delivery part. And when that is done, you're going to put the headset on the inmate, or they'll do it themselves, and they're going to take a VR trip to where they're going. And then when that is completed, they're going to rip one reality away from another one. So they're going to take the headset off from where they're at, maybe a beautiful place to pray, or they feel like they're connected with their loved ones. And then they're going to go back and feel like they're in the room with law enforcement that are reviewing it. And it could be a depressing time. So just make sure someone's there during the post-delivery part. The last part of considerations, you want to make sure of the medical considerations. Are they going to be standing, rotating in a circle to watch the videos? Are they going to be sitting maybe on a stool, sitting in a chair at the side of their bed, or maybe laying down? These are important things. Maybe they're taking nausea medication. It's good things to know ahead of time. And you want to make sure they're not going to swat anything like a ceiling fan or trip on anything on the floor when they put their headset on. The mental health considerations are really important, and it should be taken seriously because you want to make sure you're not causing any harm or any trauma. So it's important to get the approval of mental health professionals before they view a VR prayer. The next thing are VR training and educational projects. VR training is really becoming quickly just a phenomenal way to train employees and even volunteers. This is a tough place to train because it's hard to get people into a prison to train them how to do this effectively, but you can create a VR training system to train volunteers and how to effectively work with prison inmates. And there are 3 main types. The first type are 360 training videos. These are super easy and affordable to make, and you can work with teams in your own local community to get that done. There are automated training platforms like 2.C, which is our partner, and then you can create a VR training program in a virtual reality world. Up next, we're going to be talking about messaging, and this is where a VR prison ministry can really bring the community into stories where they feel like they're a part of it. So you're moving away from where they're watching it on their phone or on their TV, and now they're moving into the TV set where they feel like they're there, where they can really gain empathy for prisoner stories. And with that in mind, fundraising is really important with this as well. Your ministry can go into the community and raise money because they're really going to understand the mission and the impact that they have in the community. So in this section, we took a look at a few different things, and is the fact that a VR prison ministry can be a great place to support law enforcement in their ability to connect inmates to take VR prayers trips to the local community to really feel loved, connected, and empowered. And this is new to everybody, and we are going to work with prison law enforcement and even local community groups in making this a reality and communities all over the world. So a VR prison ministry, again, is just a series of VR prayers, VR stations. We talked a little bit about a VR world, and also it's a great way to train volunteers with VR training, and it's a great way to unlock and unleash a VR prison ministry's ability to connect during public relations and fundraising activities. So again, it's been just an honor to spend a few minutes with you and describing what is a VR prison ministry and how you can launch one in your area. So to get started, go to vrministry.com and get started with the VR Prayers online course, which is a great first step. And eventually you're going to want to do a workshop with me where it's a 3-hour jam-packed session where we're actually going to start planning your VR ministry. And then from there, you can go ahead and launch it. So again, it's just been an honor. And my name's Todd Brinkman. I'm the founder of VR Ministry, and I've been doing this for 5 years now, and have had conversations with 10 to 12,000 people about getting all of this set up. So I'm really excited to launch your ministry. I hope you launch your ministry, and then from there, we can really do some bigger and more global projects together as a community. So I'm grateful that you're here, and may God bless you, and may God bless your future ministry.